Okay, so let's start off just by sitting with nice tall posture. If it has been a while since you have exercised and you're considering getting back to it, slow and steady is the safest and most effective way to begin any new fitness program. And it is good to check with your health professional first if it's something new you're trying out. Living with osteoarthritis or rheumatoid arthritis can be very challenging. Remember that there are many things you can do to lessen the negative impact that arthritis has on your life. Don't just sit there and take it. Let's do something about it. It is proven that regular moderate exercise and stretching can help. And by regular, we mean doing it regularly, as in every other day or even daily. There are a lot of exercises I'll show you today that can be done every single day. All right, and stretching is pretty much always safe any day. So arthritis causes inflammation in the joints, and I'm sure most of you realize that. That's when your joint will feel warm to the touch, often in the fingers, the hands, wrists, knees, hips. You know what I'm talking about, I'm sure. Otherwise, you wouldn't be watching this video. So also, arthritis causes a breakdown in the cartilage that cushions your bones. And there's nothing we can do about this. It's just the natural aging process, really. We lose some of the fluid in our joints and we stop producing it. So exercising will help us to start producing the fluid again, but we can't really build back those cushions. So exercise is one of the main ways for you to feel better. So each shoulder, hip, knee, etc. contains a joint supported by muscles, ligaments, and tendons. You may be afraid to perform the activities that you love for fear of worsening your pain, but certain exercises can actually help relieve those symptoms of arthritis to some degree. And again, it's different for everybody. Every situation is different, and even one person, it can vary from day to day so much. We all know on those rainy days, it's always worse. So start with just a few exercises the first day and just try a few of each. You know, it's always better to start slow and then progress each day or progress each week. Just listen to your body, whatever works best. When we're talking about strengthening exercises, and I know a lot of people do these regularly, such as lifting weights or stretchy elastic bands. They're known as resistance bands. Adding resistance when you're working makes you build muscle faster. But those strengthening exercises should not be done daily. You need to alternate the days. At the very most, every other day. And probably for most of us, twice a week is fine for strengthening your whole body with weights or resistance bands. However, when you're talking about cardio exercise or stretching, that can be done daily. It can even be done throughout your day. Just keeping things moving, trying to take each joint through its full range of motion. So with a shoulder, that would be a full circle. Okay? All right. Now, we always begin with a warm-up of the major joints and muscles, such as walking at a comfortable pace for 5 or 10 minutes. Even swinging your arms is good. Gentle arm movements like the breaststroke, everybody knows that one, the back crawl, or the front crawl. Just swinging your arms while you're walking is a great way to warm up your entire body. You don't need to go for a long walk. You can just do it in your apartment or house. So as you get stronger, gradually increase the duration of your cardio exercise, which is the aerobic type exercise, and the number of strength exercises that you do. So if you're doing, say 8 exercises on your strengthening day, and you're doing 4 of each over weeks of periods of time, you can increase that 4 to 5, to 6, to 7, to 8, just increase very gradually, bit by bit. And as you get stronger, you can also increase the duration of your exercise, your aerobic exercise. So be sure not to overdo it though. Less is more, especially when you are first beginning. Now, a lot of you are already exercising regularly, so this doesn't really apply to you. So you should not feel any serious pain after exercise, but you may feel some. It is normal and expected to feel some muscle soreness. The following day, sometimes even the same day, usually the following day or two. But if you experience pain or difficulty moving, then you probably have overdone it a little, and it's good to the next time to just do a little less. Remember, less is more sometimes. So if this occurs, you can reduce your muscle soreness with a heating pad or a warm bath or shower, and just reduce your repetitions when you resume your exercise program. Be sure to speak with your health professional if you experience pain every time you exercise, or if you're just unsure about your fitness program, if it's right for you. They may recommend assistive devices, and we're all familiar with most of those: knee braces, compression sleeves, compression socks, compression shorts even, shoe inserts, orthopedics, canes, walkers, walking poles. There's so many ways to relieve the pain on your joints. So, did you know that you are feeding your joints when you're being active? Cartilage, ligaments, and bone will become stronger and more resilient with regular exercise. So that's really good news to know that you are going to do permanent good, not just daily good. So physical activity and exercise actually help keep those joints healthy, thereby helping you control your level of pain and stiffness over time. And I'm just going to read you a list of the many benefits of regular exercise. Decreased pain, increased muscle strength and endurance. And endurance means that you can do the same exercise for a longer period. So say you can walk for 10 minutes before you get tired, and now since you started exercising, maybe you can walk for 15 minutes before you get tired. That's your endurance building over time. So increased muscle strength and endurance. Increased bone strength and quality of bone. Another biggie. They're all biggies actually. Healthier joints. We all want that. Improved range of motion. So for some people, their arm can only go like that, but after working for a few weeks, they'll be getting higher or a bigger circle, that sort of thing. Enhanced ability to perform everyday activities. And that is what we all want. To be able to get through our day and do everything we always did before without as much pain, such as getting up and down from a chair or reaching up high. Definitely people do notice improvement in those type of things, and I hear about it often. It's just music to my ears. Enhanced self-confidence. That's another big one. Everybody wants to feel good about themselves and have, nice self-confidence. So when you do something for your body that's positive and took a little bit of work, that will make you feel good about yourself, and doing it every day and seeing results, well, that will just have you bursting with self-confidence. So a reduced risk of falls is another very important reason to exercise regularly, not just for people with arthritis, for everybody. And helping maintain a healthy body weight. Exercising regularly is proven to help with that. Improved ability to handle and manage stress. And I threw that one in because we're going through some really crazy different times these days, and we are all stressed just a little bit more than usual. And stress does contribute to illness in your body, and we want to all try and have less stress in our lives. So another reason to exercise is it helps get that stress out of you, and it helps you produce the happy hormones that make you feel good about yourself. All right, the next page is going to involve some actual exercises for arthritis of the hands and fingers. So I'm just going to switch my pages. Add some more pages. Exercise your fingers at least once or twice every day. Even if you don't have arthritis, it's still good for them, and it helps prevent it. It helps prevent them from stiffening up. So if you're going to do it once a day, that's great, or even twice a day. Do each exercise 4 times to start. But if you're in a flare-up, only do 1 or 2 of each, just to get them moving just a little. You can actually do a maximum of 10 with the finger exercises, but 4 is plenty, 8 is plenty, 10 would be your maximum. If you experience an increase in pain in your hands and fingers that lasts more than 1 or 2 hours after exercising your fingers and hands, you may have overdone it. In which case, just like we mentioned earlier, the next time you do them, reduce the number of repetitions that you do. So let's get started. We're going to rub our hands together to warm them up. You can also immerse them in warm water, but we can't do that right now. We're watching a video and warm water isn't nearby. So I like to just rub mine till they feel nice and tingly. Now we're going to start off with some wrist circles. Your elbows are going to be close to your side so we don't get the whole arm going, and just rotate those wrists. You can always do just one hand at a time too, whatever works for you. Other direction. You can do these every day, more than once, as many times as you want. Good. Now we call this forming the letter C. Some ladies will tell you that you're going to eat a big sandwich and you're going to hold those fingers apart, but I like to call it the quacking like a duck. So our fingers are together and we're bringing them down to the thumb and opening just slowly. This is working the big joints across the back of the hand. Good. All right, so on to the second page. Now this is the page that you folks have in front of you, some of you. And if you don't have them, you can always write to me and ask me to send them to you. Hold up one hand with your palms facing forward. Here, we're all going to do this together. And I'm sorry my fingers are so crooked. Obviously I have arthritis. We're going to close our fingers slowly, one by one, from the baby finger to the index finger. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then open again, the same direction, little finger, baby finger first. Okay, let's do that again. So the trick with this exercise is to go from the small finger first, which makes it more challenging. And we're trying to get it more fluid. Let's get the other hand now. Start off slow. And that is challenging. I find it much easier to go quickly, but I don't want to be a show-off. But we're going to try and do it more quickly now as a fluid motion. Now, not everybody can do that, but if you can, you're going to try now rotate the wrist as you do it. It looks kind of fancy when you do that. And it feels really good to get the wrists moving with it, with those fingers. One more time, and definitely we'll all have to work on practicing that exercise. Now, place your palms up and make a fist. So just go slowly, make a fist, open slowly. Let's do that again, make a fist. So where you can see my hands. Let's see, open them slowly and then bring the fingertips to the palms. Can you see that? So the fingertips only. So open, fingertips touching, and some fingers won't always come right down. If you've got a big inflamed knuckle, that finger might not reach, but that's okay. We're just working the finger joints here. And don't forget to do the thumb every so often. All right, bring them all in and open. In and open. In. And be sure to open completely for a big stretch. One more. Good. Now let's just give them another little rub. In some classes, they'll have you do finger to thumb circles. But today we're going to concentrate more on touching the finger, each finger to the thumb, but the pad to the pad, and actually just giving it a gentle squeeze. So we'll start with the index finger to the thumb, the long finger to the thumb, ring finger, and the baby finger. Okay, so we're not making actual circles. We're bringing the pads to the pads and engaging the whole fingertip pad onto the thumb pad. Good, again. Now let's try that, make it a little harder. We're going to open and tap, open and tap, open and tap, open and tap. Good. All right, give them a little rub, shake them out a little. Now let's make a fist and open. Sometimes I throw these into my cardio classes because it's a fun little exercise. Sometimes your fingernails will stick in your palms, though. If that's the case, if you have long, long nails, do it like that. They don't get a chance to dig in. Good. All right. Now, this next one is a little massage for your fingers. You take your index finger to the thumb, just like we did before, and then you're going to slide the thumb down the fingers. Do that 3 times. Onto the middle finger, the long one. Slide your thumb down. It's kind of a funny little exercise. Your ring finger, slide it down. And I'm not sure if everyone can do this or not. We're just going to try. And then the baby finger, slide it down. Now let's just go through it again and do every finger. 1 time. It might tickle on some of them. My ring finger always tickles. Good. Give them a little rub and just rest them for a minute. Let's take a nice deep breath. Good. I'm going to switch to my 3rd page here. So for the next 2 exercises, I'm going to demonstrate by using my bongo drum. Well, I guess this is called a djembe, because I know I can tilt it down like this. I don't actually have a table up here in my recording room. That's pretty good. So you can see my hands are flat now. So if you have a table in front of you, you can put your hands on a table, or you can just use the piece of paper that you have on your lap, or you can actually just use your legs. But I just want to demonstrate this way. But I'm not going to play the bongos, don't worry. So we're going to open and close all the fingers. I'll start with one hand at a time. Open and close all the fingers. Now, we're going to open them one by one. Thumb, index, long finger, and then a ring finger, baby finger. Okay, other hand, thumb, index, middle, ring, baby. And that can be very challenging. Let's try it with both hands together. I don't think I have room to do that. Again, open, 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 open. Open, 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 open. I should have started them with them shut, I guess. Open, 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 open. And 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, do the same thing, but one at a time. So we'll open and close, open and close, open, oops, and close, open and close. The thumb is pretty easy for most people. I find that the hardest for me. Other fingers just want to help. Let's try them together. Oh, this left hand's tricky. I bet the piano players find this a lot easier than I do. Good, good. Get a little rub. Maybe a little massage would feel good right about now. There you go. The next one is also on a tabletop or your flat leg. We're going to lift each finger up one by one. So just relax them. Up and down, up and down. Okay, and again, up, 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 up. Switch. And you could be doing both hands at the same time. I just don't have room on my little pretend table. That ring finger is hard for me to get up. Again. My left hand is my worst hand for arthritis, so and we owe me one more in this hand. That's my stronger hand. Good. So get rid of this guy. Don't need him anymore. Now, if you'd like to switch over to your next sheet, it's the one that's called Helpful Daily Tips. And I've had so many people say to me, what should I do when I first get out of bed and I'm so stiff? I mean, I go to the bathroom, but then what? I feel so stiff. I don't know which exercises are the best ones to do. So I have answered that question with this sheet of paper, these 2 sheets. This is a little guideline that you can follow every day, but only do the ones that feel good for your body, because we're all different and we all have different problems. So these are guidelines only. Some may not be possible for you every day. Listen to your body. Always proceed slowly and gently first thing in the morning. Try to do 4 sets of each exercise, but do more if you wish to, but do less if necessary. So I'm going to set this over here. And I will be standing up. There are 2 exercises that are standing. I will stand up and demonstrate them, but you can if you want to, but you don't have to. You can just watch. So it's up to you. So sitting nice and tall, keeping the top of your head parallel to the floor. We're going to turn our heads from side to side. These I call the 3 T's because it's easy to remember. The 3 T's. Do the 3 T's every day and your neck will be so much more healthier. Okay? So much more healthy. All right, let's take a breath. Exhale, turn your head slowly as far as it wants to go. Never force it. Never, never. Inhale, exhale, turn. Good. And we'll just keep going. You can do the deep breathing if you'd like, or you can just breathe the way you always do, but don't hold your breath. And I'm going to do 4 of these. So it shows you that it does not take very long at all. All right, that was the first T. It's called the turn. So there's the turn, the tuck, and the tilt. And it doesn't matter what order you do them in. I do the tucks next. It's actually not a neck tuck. It's called a chin tuck, but it helps strengthen the back of your neck. And it's very important to help prevent the forward head posture that a lot of people get, including myself. I'm constantly trying to strengthen these muscles to hold my chin in. So take a breath, exhale, pull it in. So when you pull it in, a lot of people think just putting it down. We don't want it to go down. We want your head parallel to the floor as if there was a book on your head. So try and pull that chin in, just like showing that you have a double chin. And then relax. Pull it in gently. Remember, never force it. None of the joints should ever be forced or flicked. But the necks are very sensitive. But these 3 T's are very safe. Don't do neck rotations and don't look up at the ceiling. Don't do things that are straining your neck. Just gentle. So turns, tucks, and tilts. So for the tilts, I'd like you to try and do a little tuck first and then tilt over. Tuck it in, tilt over, and again. Sometimes you'll get way further on the one side. Sometimes neither side will go very far at all. Some days you'll feel you can get way further than you ever could before. It just depends what you did that day, but it depends more on what you did the day before in most cases. Last one. Beautiful. All right, we're going to drop these arms, shake them out a bit. Bring them up and down. Now this is not on your sheet. These are called bicep curls. But this is for your elbows. But it's pretty obvious that this works your elbows and helps to strengthen them. It also helps lubricate the joints. I don't hear many people complain of arthritis of the elbow, but I tell you, every time I wash my hair, my elbows complain. We don't want to be up in this position so long. Good. Shoulder shrugs. There can't be enough of them in this world. Shrug up and down. And shoulder shrugs always feel so good, especially first thing in the morning. And you can do these anywhere at all. Standing or sitting. And you can even do one at a time, which I happen to love doing one at a time. I feel like I'm getting a lot further up when I just do one set. Good. And then the shoulder rolls, just like it says, rolling it back. So we'll start with singles. And I'd like you to be joining me with these. If you've got arms at the side of your chair, just hang them out a bit. I'll pretend I have arms on my chair. So we're rolling back 4 times. Remember, if you're in a flare-up, only do 2. If you feel good about it, you can do 8. And you could do 8 on one side only, or you could do 8 alternating, or you could do 8 together. So now let's do 4 together. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember, you're trying to get that full rotation, which means you're going forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. And if you put your hand on the joint, you can actually feel it. Forward, up, back, and down. It helps you know what to do when you can actually feel that joint working. Good. And now forwards. So always go back to start and go back when you're finishing. Right, forward. Do 4. 1 more. And don't be alarmed if you're hearing some crunching in the back of your neck. That's normal and it's good. Now take it back again. So we always want to finish going backwards. And keep that chest lifted. Excellent. Open your arms and reach around and give yourself a little hug. Now we're going to reverse the arms. Do it again. Just grab a hold and give yourself a little squeeze. This is a shoulder stretch that I do after all of my classes, but we're just doing a little quick one today. But this always feels good. Sometimes you get a few clunks and clicks, but that's all right. All right, bring them down, give them a gentle shake. Roll them back 3 more times. And then we're going to move down to our legs. We'll start with the ankles. We're going to lift the toes up and down. We'll do 4 sets. These are great to do when you're sitting idly, watching TV or eating a meal. And we'll do 5, 6 sets. There we go. And if you didn't want to do them together, you could do singles. Or you could do 4 sets of singles, 4 together, or 8 sets of singles and 8 together, whatever you want. Now up on your toes and down. Now if you do this in a standing position, you're really going to strengthen those calf muscles and ankles up. It's a great strengthening exercise, but you can do it daily because there's no weight or resistance band involved. You're just using your body weight. Good. Now let's try that one at a time. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now the knees. And if any of you have done my classes before, you're familiar with these exercises. We will lift this leg and support it from underneath. And if you're strong and you can lift it without holding on, go by all means, just do it just with the leg only. But we are going to swing these legs. You might hear some clicks again. Sit the shoulders back and down, your chest lifted and your chin in. What we're doing here is trying to stimulate the fluid. So straighten that leg, straighten it right out. All right, switch. So you could have just done 2 and switch legs, or 4, switch legs, or you could just go 1 on 1 and just switch back and forth. Whatever works best for you, or change it every day. All right, take it up and out. And some people's legs may turn out to the side. Don't force it to go where you think it should go. Just let it go where it naturally wants to. Because at this stage of our life, it's not about to change by forcing it. It's just going to make it sore. Good. All right. So those are called leg extensions. And there's different ways of doing them. As I said, with the hands or without the hands. Just swinging. That's right. Just without the hands, without lifting the leg at all. Okay, that's pretty simple. You can feel those joints are loosening up the more you do. We're just stimulating the fluid to flow. And the hardest way to do this, the most difficult, would be up, out, up, and down. But remember, don't lock your knees. So when you're out, you never lock it flat. You always keep a little bend. Sometimes mine might look like they're flat, but they're not. Good. All right, let's take a deep breath and relax for a second. Good. So knees standing up. I'm going to stand up and turn my chair to the side. Just demonstrate. These are called leg curls. But first of all, when you first stand up, you're going to feel often a little tightness in your back. So whenever you stand up from a seated position, this is just a little helpful hint. If you stand up and you get up from the chair and you're here, which is me when I've just driven to any store, get out of the car and I can't straighten up. I'm just too stiff. So I take one arm up and look what happens. It helps bring me up. And then I take the other arm up and get up as high as I can. And what that does is it gently helps you unlock these vertebrae and stretch your spine right up high. And look at that, I'm tall again and straight. Good. So these are called leg curls. And the only thing I want you to avoid is bringing the leg forward. We want it to look like you're on one leg, that you only have one leg. So we don't want it out like this, we want it here. So you're just lifting it up and down, up. Let's switch legs. And it's hard to tell. Don't put your knees right together. You should always have your legs straight down from your hips. So for me, that is my perfect spot right there. It's different for everybody. So when I do my leg curl back, see how my leg just disappears. It's right behind. You want to go straight back from that joint. Okay? And remember, you're not, let's do it again. We'll do one on each leg. And again, one on each leg. So if you can't tell if it's coming forward, just look down when you do it. And if you see it's coming in front of the other one, you know you want to bring it back a bit. Okay? 4, 3, 2, 1. And remember, you don't have to get up and join me for any of these. You can just sit and watch. So that is another way to promote the fluid flowing through that knee joint. Okay, either or both. I'm going to sit back down. And the last one is our hips. So this is another exercise that a lot of you will know. I'm just going to bring your pant leg up a little bit here, so you can see me better. I know my feet look really big in the videos because they're closer to the camera. They are big, but they're not as big as they might appear to you. So take one foot at a time. And this is considered neutral. So you're right at your hip width apart. My legs are straight out. My feet are right below them. So take it out and then back to neutral and then in. Okay, I'm just going to go to here. 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4. So remember, don't do it if it hurts too much. If you're going here and say, ah, you just stop. Some people can't get in very far. Or you might have to take your leg out further to get it in. And also in class, we often do this. We'll go right out and right in without stopping at neutral. But because we're doing this as a daily exercise, there are days when I don't want you to go right across. So it's better to just stop at neutral every time. Go out, stop, go in, and stop. This is my bad side. This is my very severely arthritic hip. And this is a bit of a challenge, but I have already done a workout today, so I'm a little more limber. If this was first thing in the morning, I wouldn't be doing this anywhere near this well. All right, if you want to, you can also do the two together. Bring it in and out. In and out. So see what's happening there is you're bringing that hip joint in and then you're opening it up. If it hurts, just stop anytime. Good. And only do as many as you can without it hurting, or don't go as far. Good. Now, side steps are very, very important for your hips. And in normal life, if you're, working in the kitchen, you're sidestepping a lot. But if you're living in an environment where you're not cooking your own meals, you're not doing that sidestepping anymore, or at least not enough. A lot of places have hallways with railings, and I really highly suggest you get using those. They're the best place to do your side steps. Some of you have probably been in classes with me where we went out in the hallway and went down one side and up the other. It's great. So you can also do it behind a chair, which I'm going to demonstrate now. Kind of hard for this one because you can't really see what I'm doing that well, but side step. So if you're right behind your chair, let's say this way to start. If you're right behind your chair, you're going to take 2 steps to the right. 1 and 2, which would be your left, my right, and then 2 steps the other way. So you can still hold on. And if that's not enough support for you, then you would get 2 chairs, or you could have a chair in front and a chair over here. Okay, let's try that again. Step out, step out, step in, and the other way, out, in, and in. But the best place to do this is out in the hallway and go 8 steps down that way, cross the hall, and then go 8 steps the other way, and then you're almost at your destination. Good work. All right, so that's side steps. I want you to really try and get some of those in your day, every single day. Avoid sitting for periods longer than 20 minutes. And that's a really difficult one if you don't set timers all day. For some people, your bladder will make you get up, which we don't really want that, but for many people, it's inevitable. But sitting longer than 20 minutes just means you're going to be more stiff when you get up. So if you deal with the stiffness regularly, it's a very minor fix. But if you wait till you've sat for 2 or 3 hours and then get up, then you know what I'm saying. You're really, really stiff and you've got more walking and working and stretching to do before you feel good again. So avoid sitting for longer than 20 minutes. When you stand after prolonged sitting, always slowly straighten up your back completely, as I demonstrated earlier, by raising those arms. So you can also do it from here. Just reach up high, or reach up high. Oh, I just realized that I forgot something. When we went from neck to shoulders, we skipped the arms. Oh my goodness, sorry about that. So arms. To warm up your arms, it doesn't really matter what order we go in. So take your arm in front, and your notes will say reach forward with each arm and shoulder. So it's your arm and shoulder reaching forward. Just like that. So you just keep your shoulders, keep your back on the chair, but you feel that you're stretching that shoulder out a bit. And then to the side, you would drop the arm, lift and reach. And then lift and reach. So it's just a matter of getting that shoulder to go a little further each direction, and then up and down, and up and down. Now, a lot of people can't get their arm that high, so keeping that bend, you may find it's easier to go this way, out to the side to get up, because with the bend, it makes it a little bit more supported. Okay, so try and go as high as you can. So you're getting out of your car or your friend's car, you're stiff and you've got up, and then you bring one arm up, or even if you're here, get halfway up, get halfway up. Make sure you're holding on to something. Now let's talk about getting in and out of the car. This is my car today. So I come up to my car. I'm going to say this is the front of my car here. So I come up to my car, I open the door, I go back until I feel the edge of the car. I just make sure where everything is. I bend forward from the hip, bend my knees down, grab a hold of the seat or something, and sit down. Some people will keep a plastic bag in their car so they can spin around easily with their hips. But for me, I just lift both legs and swing them in. Now, on days when I'm hurting, I can't do that. So this will be me. I'll get all my energy into my core, lift up one leg, and get it over to the edge. Trying to keep them close together with a little space. And I just inch my way in once I'm up on the ledge, and then get them right in. Okay, I know it's hard, and there's no easy way. So out again, you would go up and out if you had a really good core strength, but it really depends on the car. But if you can't do that, you get little bit by little bit. So we don't want those hips going too far apart. We do not want this. This is a no-no. Don't do that to get out of the car, which we've done our whole life, and it's really contributed to our arthritis. So just bit by bit by bit, And then once you're up on that little ledge, and then try and get both legs out. Plant them firmly, hip width apart. Get nice posture, bend from the hip. Hold on to something if you need to pull yourself up. But if you're able to, use those core muscles in those legs, push down onto those heels, and use your hands on your legs. That is the best way if you're not holding something. And stand up. All right, we did it. Thank you for joining me for my arthritis workshop. I hope you learned a few things. And as I said, if you need the handouts, just contact me and I'll get you a couple of copies of those, all right? All right, give yourselves a big hand, everybody, for showing up and doing the work. It's great to see you again. Have a wonderful day. Bye for now.